is Big Data Trunk is a primarily big data focused company. Our primarily focus is in two areas, big data and IoT, Internet of Things. In big data space specifically, we do these things. We provide trainings, free training in the sense like people who join a training and a place through us, work through our projects or consulting. After 6 months of working through us, we refund the fee. So in turn, it could be a free training, but initially you deposit a certain amount. We provide certification assistance. In big data space, having a certification is quite considered valuable, especially for people new entering into this technology. That gives you credibility in the industry, and that's why certification is highly recommended. We provide that as a service and help you to really get certification. There's a whole lots of people from our previous batches have done that, and we have a whole mechanism how to really address that certification task. We also have a recruitment and placement team which works with you for the job placement and get you placed in projects after the training. What's the most unique thing which we have is the job assistance. So we have a team back in India, an offshore team, which can help you in your initial projects. And that's a service, additional service which we provide. They could provide you helping hand. They could act as a mentor. They could act as providing guidance or troubleshooting when time needs. So we provide that as a service. And what we think is overall, with all these things combined together, that's what makes a successful big data professional, not just one piece of it. I think having this full-on service is what is valuable. Our approach is very much a project-driven approach. We take a real-life project. So literally when you start the training the first day, we don't say that you are joining a training. What we pretend to behave or simulate, say, you have been hired as a big data professional, and you have been given a certain problem for a big company, and together through the journey of this training, we'll be solving this problem. And this is a great example, classic example of solving a problem for having customer retention, identifying which customers are happy and which are not happy, and scoring them and trying some real-life projects. I have done a couple of projects in this area, and I bring that and some other projects into the spectrum. So that's our approach. We start with a project, and throughout the journey, every session by session, we work on the project, and you actually do the project along with the learning. So here is the approach for the project-based learning. We do not only the technology, but the industry terms and definitions and concepts. Every single module keeps on building that project. And finally, once you have completed the whole project, you have gone through the various stages which happen in a project life cycle. And all of them really are simulated to really give you a feel of really going through a real life project in a very short and compressed duration. So project-based is the center stone for our approach, but also what we do is really approach in several other ways. Instead of just giving you training and just teaching the technologies, we really bring you various aspects, an all-rounded approach and proper hand-holding and guided approach. We provide books for you to read. We provide like books from $40 around cost, which is from us. And we make you read those books, like chapter by session, we'll specify you have to read this kind of thing. Second, we have an LMS, a learning management system, which you notice there are a lot of things and content which are put each module by module. It has quizzes, it has recordings of the previous sessions, it has labs, exercises, project work, and several other interesting content which you can help yourself through that. So that happens along with it. We don't only rely on this thing, but we go into real life situations and really see information from a lot of other places. And these are some of the pieces. We have a step-by-step mechanism. How can you keep yourself informed in these areas and what you can do? And we have really condensed all this thing into a very step-by-step process. Finally, we make you take action. That's the whole reason which somebody can become successful. Just by listening to this and doing the other pieces may not be sufficient or will not be sufficient. You as individuals have to take action. We make you do that by several different mechanisms. We do projects, as I said. We buddy you together with somebody, 1 or 2 people together team, 2, 3 people, small teams, and they work with encouragement, motivation, and all that. We help you in the certification. This is an optional program which we really encourage people to have a method to do that, so doing certification. And several other things which we keep optional but encourage you to do and guide you to do that. It's a very guided approach, a very prescriptive approach sometimes. In fact, literally, I send after every session, we send a prescription saying, these are 10 things you have to do. You want to read this particular chapter. You may want to do this particular module and go to read the summary notes which we have written. We have written like 5-6 pages of the chapter, and we can have a fast read through that. You watch this video, play this project, do this lab, all that kind of a thing step by step will be provided. And you can do more things apart from that and go your own way, but I think we should encourage and things. This is overall our approach to really address better learning. By no means, I think there's no comparison with just teaching technology. We're not just primarily focusing. I think there are many other some places where they teach technology. What we really think about bringing the value add is the real-time projects, real-time life scenarios from my real projects and other pieces. I'm the lead trainer, and there are others who join me as well as training. So we bring years of experience into the real life situation. That's what we do. I'm getting a lot of echo again. In terms of program, we have two programs. One is what we call as the developer or engineer and architect program. So this is where I think so somebody needs to, in our mind, my recommendation would be to really do some projects where you do a little bit of hands-on and practice if you really want to take up the ladder and move to the architecture area. But this is the route to go for that. And there is another program which we call as Big Data Analyst or Data Science program, an Introduction to Data Scientist program. So that's the two programs which we're doing. How does somebody choose from these things? So this is a simple flowchart which we have devised. But we really look for people to first ask themselves a question. Are you a deep technical person who has a lot of programming experience? Doesn't need to be Java only. It could be any programming language you are working or have done in the past so that you have that understanding. Or you have inclination or interest to learn those languages. You may not have it right now, but you can pick it up later point of time. We have all the right tools and things available for somebody to learn themselves, all the Java and Python and Scala and several other technologies. And people can, as a pre-work, they can learn and do as part of this training itself. So that's the question if you ask. If you answer that question is yes, like I'm working on some of this programming or have worked or I have interest in that, then we recommend to go to the developer or engineer course. If not, if you are somebody who is more of a person, not too deep in the technology coding and not wanting also to do that, but at least you know some basic SQL. You may have worked on some of the reporting or visualization tools like business intelligence tool like Tableau, ClickView, Oracle BI, Business Objects. I'm just throwing some names, MicroStrategy. So many of them are in the industry. ClickView is there. Several of those are available which are in the industry. So if you've worked on that area, this could be a program for a thing. Data analyst. Data analyst is a role in the industry for years and years. Nowadays, it's getting a lot of flavor around big data. Actually, every single job requirement nowadays has some part which says having big data knowledge is plus or nice to have these skills as well. So it's become a norm to really include that, and that's why a lot of people are at least learning for that part, some of the knowledge in different areas in big data. This course itself serves a very vast, rich set of things which you can get you in the path of data scientist. I'm not saying that by doing this course, you'll become a data scientist. Data scientist takes a lot. People have to have a lot of knowledge in different areas and expertise, and these things to get data scientists. Data scientist has been said to be the sexiest job in the century. It makes tons of money. I think it's the highest paid job. But to get there, it takes a lot of years and practice and knowledge of several areas. But this program is a very rich program to help you get started with it because we do a lot of elements which are part of the data scientist work. The way it works once you have decided and joined a particular program, there is a common area. So both the programs and both the groups start the same days, the same program, and they have common areas. Basically, you have to have foundation of all these different pieces. You have to understand the common modules, and then we divide the groups. And the developer groups really goes on and focus on their particular technologies, which are more deeper ingestion of data, processing of data, more of advanced topics. And the analyst or data science introduction program really goes in their specialized areas, where it's data analysis. How do we do that? How do we do PI and visualization using some of these technology tools? And we also provide introduction to R, which is more of a data science language. So we do a lot of areas in this stuff as well. So that's the way we define and give recommendation for people to make the choice on that. So that's what we do. Any questions? We are going to talk about more of the logistics. Any questions before that? Okay. We have in terms of what we really do. So it's a very rich set of course. The way I have designed it, in the job market, if you see and you look any requirement, you will notice that there's no more that just says, I need a person in Tableau, I need a person in so-and-so technology. It's usually a combination of several different technologies. And so I didn't want to create several different programs and ask you to join several different programs. It makes sense to give you what the industry is asking. So based on that and based on my experience, what I've seen, we have created a very comprehensive course, and it covers everything. It covers Hadoop, big data, visualizations, R, Spark together. There are several companies which bake this into easily 4 different courses, and that's why I don't compare. I mean, it's different way of putting it together, so there is no comparison. What we do is this common modules, which we start with. Both the groups are together, and then they separate out for their specialization course. So this is for the analyst or the data scientist intro. Here is for the developers. As you see, the same common things go up to here, and then they start having their own area of different subjects, which they start. Every module almost has labs, exercises for each of them. We talked about projects. That's our core central strategy to really make people confident and feel good about the whole thing by doing projects and real life experience. So I've done 7 projects. I've taken 2 or 3 projects of those. Actually, I'm in the process of putting one more project to one of my current projects. So it takes quite some time. So we keep on adding more projects, and they are real-time projects, but reduced in size. Obviously, if I've done it for 120 tables, we don't want to load the tables. So we have condensed that and doing few tables, but you get the concept, you get the flow, you get the architecture. So that's the approach which this projects and labs have been created. So lots of hands-on practice, lots of things which we do to make this happen. There's a batch starting right away on this Sunday, upcoming Sunday. So 3rd of April, we have a batch starting for both. As I said, both start together. The way it's structured, the developer course is spread across over 4 weeks. This is primarily done to address working professionals, and including me. I think I'm working on a project right now, in fact, 1.5 project. So quite busy. So that's why it is catered in such a way that it balances work, this training, and your personal life. So what we do is on Sundays, we have this session where we have the full classroom session. We really physically, you meet me personally or whoever the trainer is, or if sometimes we have people from Canada, from the East Coast and other places, that's where the people join in online as well. I had some people, a whole corporate doing from Paris as well within the night times. So that kind of setup we do for online, so that's available on. So primarily it happens is one day, full day on the weekend. The second Saturday, let's say the Saturday you have for your own personal life and other things. And then we have one evening in the week, which is a short session, something like that, what we're having today, or a little less than that actually. And it's online mostly because people are driving, they don't want to drive for 1.5 hours, makes sense. That's what is happening. So that's how the tools to programs are structured. This one is 3-week program, developer is 4-week. In terms of cost, the developer cost is $9.99. There is an early bird discount, and it will end tomorrow for especially people joining this bootcamp or otherwise also. So it will be available, and people can join for $9.49. So there's a little bit of discount. Bootcamp attendee discount, that is it. Here also it is $6.49, and for the bootcamp it just gives you $5.99. So it will be available till tomorrow if you join, which is Friday end of the day, and the training is starting on Sunday. One word of caution over there, I don't want you guys to compare this cost with the cost of some other courses which you might see online, which will be costing $400 or $300, because very different. It's apple to watermelon comparison. Because first of all, as I said, they will break this course easily into 4 parts. So even if each one is like $300 or $400, you are eventually paying $1,200 to $1,500, number one. It's primarily teaching you technology, not real-life projects and the other experiences which we bring to the table. We give you a $40 book ourselves. So nothing of that is part of it. And this is classroom. Huge difference. This is classroom-based kind of training versus online. There is huge difference. And I hope the style which we teach and all these things, you see what we really go from real life experience and try to also break it into a very level which somebody novice or not having much knowledge in this area can really pick up. So I am very passionate about teaching. I started teaching at the age of 15. So I like to try to take very complex topics and try to break it into the very, very simple terms so that anybody and everybody can understand. So that's what I just want to throw out, that's the difference. Don't compare those two if you see somewhere $300 or $400 training. What we do is we have the technology track. We do all these projects in labs and all those things, but we also have a job track. So we start working while the project training is going on. From second week itself, we start working on your resume. We provide interview tips. As you may have noticed, I talk about this is an important interview question. This happens, and this is how you answer. We do mock-up interviews, mentorships. I sell for somebody who keeps constantly talking to you to help you, any input, suggestions, just specific career descriptions you want to do. We provide on-job assistance. The aspect is this is a separate service. Obviously, you understand nobody is going to be available for full-time to help you on a project unless it's a reference service, paid service. We have certification assistance by several mechanisms. One is having this, we have mobile apps for big data in all the different app stores, which provide simulation of quiz questions as well as reading material and all that. So that helps in the certification because that's mostly the certification the way it happens. And the core thing is this LMS. So we have everything into a learning management system. All these things are recorded and several different pieces of information is kept over here. So in case you miss a class, in case you want to refer back, this is available lifetime when you get access to that. As soon as you enroll, you get access to that. And we strongly encourage enrolling so that you can just join and then start looking some of the pre-work. You can install a Cloudera instance by using the step-by-step guides provided by us, screenshot by screenshot. We also have other subjects. If you want to brush up your Java skill, Scala skill, Python skill, or shell scripting, if you've not done any of these, you may want to pick up that. We're not saying that you have to learn all of these. By no means you can be expert of 3 different languages or 4 different languages. What we're saying, make a choice. And here is my suggestion of how do you make a choice. If you know Java already, stick with Java and you will be fine. If you know Java but want to pick up some language or another language in that capability-wise, Scala is a very, very strong language and become very, very popular. That's another advice. If you don't have Java, but you're really go-hung, like I'm going to learn one programming language and use big data strongly for that, Scala could be a choice on that. But if you're a person who has not much programming language but wants to get into programming or hands-on experience and do things, Python is a very easy language. I'm teaching my son, 10-year-old, Python right now. He's very interested. He's writing code. And a lot of schools teach that. In fact, your son might be even learning or kids might be learning that. So Python is a very English-based language, very easy to pick up. It's rich. It's been for years and years and very powerful as well. But so those are the ways you can decide which one you want to use. But having some programming language, irrespective, would be useful. And we have those embedded into our learning management system. So that's some of the piece of information. If sure, you could register directly, go to our website, or go to the Eventbrite site where you signed up. You have my phone number and my email, everything which you can contact. It's actually in your ticket information. So this is our website. This is the Eventbrite. Right now you're seeing this 99. This is, I'm going to open it up and change it as soon as we finish the session. So it will be available to join in 9:49 for this course and similarly other one. So you can reach through this page through going to pages in our site and then navigating through that. So it will take you the same place which I was there. So it takes you and you can enroll, and it's very simple enrollment. Any questions? We have more content to be done. I think we're going to talk about the overall landscape of apart from Hadoop. We just talked Hadoop. The real fun is other areas because it's much more than Hadoop. And that's the main reason which you are here, believe me, for this session. So any questions on the training or any specific